welcome to Homespun House. My name is Molly, and thank you very much for coming and taking the time to spend with me today. It's been quite a while since I last spoke with you guys, but I'm really, really happy to be back, and I feel like I have so much kind of to share, but still not a lot. It's been almost 3 months, I think. Maybe 2. Maybe it's been 2 months. I have no idea. But I've definitely missed chatting with you, and I thought that it would be the perfect time right now to sit down and see what you guys have been up to. We have our Stellina knit along going on right now. Now, I don't even remember what I knit for the Stellina knit along. I do have 2 prizes that I want to give away. So our knit along started in May. So I would like to give away a prize for May and June, but I will do that at the end of the episode because I know a lot of people do not like to listen to giveaways. So if you have participated in the Stellina along, definitely stay tuned for the end of the episode, and I will announce 2 giveaway winners. And I will definitely do that for July and August because it continues until August 31st. So we have some really, really fun prizes as well. Let's get right into the knitting because I have been having the most wonderful time knitting. So the last time that we spoke, I was knitting on these socks. So this is some sport weight yarn from O Loops, the ladies of O Loops, Sarah and Lydia. This skein of yarn is, oh my goodness, I love it. I really love the blues and the purples. And then there's like a weedy kind of beige yellow colorway. It's just the perfect mixture of just kind of sea tones, I feel like. I can't remember what the colorway is called, but this was my first pair and still my only pair of sport weight socks. I love them. I really, really like them. I haven't worn them yet, so I don't know exactly how they'll wear, but I think I'll wait until, you know, the colder months to put them on. So today it got up to, we had such a fantastic day today. Can I just say that? Such a fantastic day. So many exciting things. Well, one massive exciting thing happened today, and I feel happy. I feel so happy. But anyway, I'm sure now you are all like, what happened? You can listen in the end. What was I even talking about? So today is kind of the last cool day. We've definitely had some days that have been in the 30s, 30 degrees Celsius this summer so far. But today is supposed to be the last cooler day. I think it's 25, 26 degrees Celsius. But tomorrow we're supposed to start being in the 30s and just kind of all the way up until September. It seems like that's supposed to be our weather. Just a hot, hot heat. So myself as a yarn dyer, I dye yarn. It's kind of part of what I do for my business. If this is your first time tuning in, I'm a little bit terrified of that because we do not have air conditioning, and standing over a billion pots, oh my goodness, it sounds terrifying. But I'm going to wait until it's cold, until, you know, September, October. It won't be cold, but, you know, when you have weathers in the 30s and it gets down to the 20s, it starts to feel quite cool, and I'm sure that that's when these socks will come into play. So I've kind of thought that once I knit a pair of socks for myself, I should knit a pair for Robert. So I wear a size 39 and Robert wears a size 46 shoe. So mine is an 8.5 and I think his is a 15. I'm not sure exactly what that is in American. But he has his socks take a really long time. So I think I was thinking quite ambitious when I was knitting these. I thought, like I said, for every time I knit a pair of socks for myself, I will knit a pair for Robert. And Robert loves tweed socks, and I had a skein of, is it Knit Picks Stroll tweed? And I do not remember what this colorway was called. So these haven't been worn, but they just look wrinkly. because he has huge feet. Now these are a men's sock blocker with a cute little sheep, just like the same ones that I have, but his are much, much larger. And they're still too small for his, because his sock hangs way off the sock blocker. So this definitely, this is the Knit Pick Stroll, or not Stroll, yeah, Stroll, or? Yeah, I think so. And then these two are Regia yarns. This is their trend and classic, their city trend line, I think, in just a red. And then this is their classic tweed. This is, I would say, it's kind of bordering on fingering and sport. It's a little bit thicker, but I wouldn't say it's thick enough to be a sport weight yarn. And then this one is definitely a fingering weight yarn. And he thought he would have even liked the cuff to be a different color, and I intended to do that. I don't know what happened with my mind when I cast these socks on, but for some reason, it looks like there's some chocolate in here. Which I wouldn't be surprised by, because I love chocolate. These haven't been worn yet either. The ends still need to be woven in, but yeah, so these took quite a while. I feel like the first sock flew by. The second one, I could not wait. I could not wait for it to be finished. So yeah, these were fun to knit. They took a while. I couldn't wait to cast on another pair of socks for myself. So something else, I then cast on another pair of socks. Something else that came in the mail, I started to say, was a sock blank from Andy of Andre Sue Knits. And it had foxes on it. So I wish I could show it to you, but I really wanted to share this blank with one of my best friends, Danny. She has the Little Bobbins podcast. And these socks I have worn. They probably look a little bit crazy. And you can see the ends are hanging out of them. So it's a little bit of a joke that I have worn them. Because the ends are hanging out. So here these are. I just knit some little shorties with these. I still have to weave in the ends. These haven't even been blocked. You can tell by the spaghetti-like, strings at the end. But I knit myself some shorties with this. And then about a week ago, maybe about a week ago now, I sent the sock blank over to Danny, and she's going to knit a pair of socks with it. So I'm really, really excited about that. Can we just talk about Andy of Andre Sue Knits for a moment? So I don't know if you watch this podcast. I'm sure most of you do. But isn't she amazing? I feel like lately, I'm always inspired by her, but lately she is such an artist. Everything that she does seems to be amazing and wonderful, and she really dives into things and is just really good at kind of everything she does in a handwork type setting. In her last podcast, she showed some paintings that she painted, and I was completely in awe. I had faith in her. I thought that she would be a really, really beautiful and talented painter, but the first painting that she showed, I thought, whoa. She is not just a painter. She is a painter, and I was truly in awe. So the sock blanks that she makes are also beautiful. She has dyed yarn in the past, and I feel like she just, dips in everywhere, knitting wise. She's kind of done it all. One thing that I haven't done knitting wise is intarsia. I did a little bit of intarsia when I was 16 years old. I knit a backpack with these 3 hearts in the center, and I just kind of made up my own technique, and I definitely know that the technique that I made up wasn't correct at all. It was kind of like the hearts kind of were 3D, they kind of popped out, and it's something that I would like to be able to do, but I can't even think of a pattern where I would want to do an intarsia. It just would be nice to say, yeah, I can do intarsia. If I wanted to do something like that, it would be no problem at all. And I kind of feel like that's Andy, it's no problem. So she's just wonderful. So yeah, I knit these socks, and I did not cast on another pair of socks for Robert. I cast on another pair of socks for myself. I have a new colorway that I have been dyeing up. There is none in the shop. There should be a bunch going into the shop tomorrow on gold stellina, some Aran weight yarn, and then some soft socks. So quite a bit. I love this colorway. I wish you could see it in the skein, because you can kind of really get the idea of where I was coming from. So this is my massive, oversized, airy cake. It looks like a mess. It's not. It looks like it. There are no knots in there. It's totally easy to use. But this colorway is called Metamorphosis, and so this was the first dye lot of this yarn that I dyed. And it's just, I think it's beautiful. It has greens and blues and browns. And my kind of thought when I was dyeing this yarn, so now I dye this much more of a saturated colorway. It's not so light in shade. It's definitely, like I said, more saturated, but my thought behind this was metamorphosis, from the cocoon to the butterfly. And so there is, there's a round to 2 rounds. It's kind of a lightly striped sock that are different shades of green with speckles of gray for the cocoon. And then the other 2 rounds of knitting, if you're knitting a sock, are these highly speckled rounds that have greens and purples and yellows and little pops of red. And I adore it. It's a really, really fun yarn to dye. It's a different technique. It's a technique that I used a little bit when I first started dyeing yarns, and I haven't really ventured on it since then. I do have a yarn colorway called Home for the Holidays. It's as well a 2-row striper with red and green, and I really wanted to try that with the Metamorphosis colorway. And it's so much fun to knit. I adore it. And I did a small cuff again. I kind of find that my cuffs are getting smaller and smaller, and I definitely would like to have some little, I would say maybe 3 pair of socks that have this small of a cuff, just kind of like house socks, I really, really like that, and that's why I have been wearing the green ones so much. They've been getting a lot of use around the house. So this is my soft sock base, which I love. It's just so nice. I know Danny is knitting, from the Little Bobbins, is knitting a cardigan out of the soft sock, and the If You're a Bird, I'm a Bird colorway, and I think it would make just such a fantastic cardigan. It's an 85-25 or 75-25 nylon and merino superwash. And it's just really soft. It's really soft, bouncy, and extremely round yarn. And I'm loving knitting these socks. So that's the first one. I just have a sweet little Tree of Life progress keeper on there. And I have this in the overused Alex Collins bag because I love it. So lots of socks have been happening and enjoyed. I've been loving knitting on them. The next thing that I have been working on is the Party on My Needles shawl. And oh my goodness, this shawl has been so much fun. So I am knitting this shawl on my Let Them Eat Cake colorway. So I've started doing sock clubs, and it's a really easy club. It's just you sign up for 1 month. You don't have, you don't have to commit to a 3-month purchase. For some people can't afford that. So I thought it would be nice to do clubs that are a 1 month purchase. And the cool thing about these clubs is they are non-repeatable. I will never ever dye these colors again. Once I dye a batch, that's it. So I started to dye this yarn and I loved it so much that I knew I needed to throw in 2 skeins of my Jeunesse base, which is my singles base right here. And I knew that I needed to dye up 2 skeins for myself to knit a shawl with. So this is the shawl so far. It looks like I'm like right in the middle of a row or right at the end of a row. And yeah, so this is the party on my needles. I wish I could show it to you guys a little bit better, but I'm knitting the large version. This is a little fun knit along that I'm doing along with Danny. Seems to be the Danny episode, who needs to podcast soon, by the way. And yeah, so we're knitting the larger version. So this is Let Them Eat Cake, inspired by Marie Antoinette. I figured as I was dyeing this colorway, it just totally reminded me of her. And then my ash colorway. There's quite a bit of ash in the shop. And one thing about my Let Them Eat Cake colorway, so like I said, is these will be colorways that are never dyed again. I don't even know how this happened, but I got a little crazy in the dye pot and I dyed, I dyed a couple extra skeins of this. And so this is how it looks in the skein. And this is on soft sock because my sock clubs are only dyed on soft sock. And I'm just going to randomly list these in the shop. And if you get them, you get them. If you don't, sorry, I can't dye it again. I purposefully did not write down the formula. I just dyed it and I love it. So I hope the people who get these are happy with them. So that is that. And that shawl has been so much fun. It is such a fun pattern. I feel like the body of the shawl, you fly through. I love the fact that you have the contrasting colors. And singles. I love knitting on singles. So much fun. And especially for shawls. I feel like from this point forward, I can definitely see knitting a lot of shawls and singles. Something about it just, they're so round and plump and beautiful, and it's a lot of fun to knit with. So if you haven't knit a shawl and singles, I say definitely go ahead and do. It's a lot of fun. So the final project that I'm going to show you today is not a knit project, but it's a crochet project. Oh, that is the same exact bag that I just showed you. So this is a crochet project that I do not even know when I started it. Jill from Knitting Broomsticks podcast and Sarah from the Love Sockwool podcast have been showing off these granny stripe, granny square, granny whatever crochet blankets that they have been working on. And you know, I've seen them for a while. I've seen a lot of these, you know, going around. And a couple of episodes ago, 2 months ago or so, I started this blanket quite quickly after my last podcast. So I'm going to say about 2 months ago. Jill and Sarah had a podcast episode where they both talked about how much they love their blankets. Now is the time to start a blanket. You need to do it. And I was inspired. I thought, you know what, girls? I am going to start one of these blankets. And I did. So I started a granny stripe blanket. And I have no idea what size of hook I'm using. I am using an old vintage hook that belonged to my grandma, Ruby. And I have no idea. It cost 10 cents, which is hilarious, insane. And yeah, it's nothing special. It's fine. It doesn't hurt my fingers. And I am having the most fun ever crocheting on this. So my blanket is quite large. It's going to be a very big blanket. So this is it so far. I'm going to show you how long it is because it is long. But I think it's beautiful. It's so much fun to work on. And I love it. I have, a couple months ago, I started selling these super sweet little teacups and teapots, and there are different, different ones with different different colors and different flowers on them. But I love them. So anyway, this blanket has been such a joy to work on. It is big, like I said. It is gorgeous. It's so much fun. I cannot explain the joy that it brings me. And the reason why I cast this on, or chained this on, I chained 315 chains, for those of you who are curious. I know that sounds like a lot, but I definitely want this to be able to, wrap over 2 people. And I have worked on this so much. Like I said, I've enjoyed every moment of it. I'm looking down because it's on my lap and I'm just obsessed. I felt a little bit intimidated because I had heard so many things about these granny stripe blankets that end up being, kind of zigzagged because it's hard to figure out where it ends and where it starts with each row, but it is super simple. Addict24 has an online written description of how to do one, and then you can also YouTube granny stripe blanket, which I did because I'm definitely more of a visual learner, and there are so many videos on how to do a granny stripe blanket. And it's really, really easy. Like, I've never, really been a crochet person. Claire, I don't know if you even remember her, or those of you who, watched my podcast from the beginning, which I'm sure you remember Claire. She taught me how to crochet quite a while ago. And I haven't done it since, but I feel like crocheting is such an easy, if you can knit, I think it's very, very, very simple to learn how to crochet. And I think we just sat down one evening and she taught me how to do a little granny square, and I took to it really quickly and remembered how to do it since then. So I just watched a quick tutorial on how to do this blanket, and I love it. It's perfect. I'm actually doing the magic knot for this, which I would not do in any other project. I'm not a fan of, the little bump that it gives. I would much rather leave my end in. But for this, I think it's perfect. And you can't see it at all. It hides itself into the little crochet, bumps. And it's so much fun. So I started to say the reason that I started this is because I have my Cozy Memories blanket going. And that was just, too big. I thought it's going to be summer. I cannot be working on something this large. Well, now this is too large and heavy that I can't put this on my lap in the summer. I can kind of put it up on the table, so that works a little bit. But I love it. I love it. And if we're in the car, I can work on it because, there's air conditioning. So I have this other Cozy Memories blanket. I keep getting sidetracked. And I really wanted to make something for Ruby. And so I thought, maybe I'll work on this. I don't know. I just want to start another sort of blanket. Maybe it will be Ruby's. Maybe it will be Elodie's. Maybe it will be mine and Robert's. And who knows? I'm sure I will have a lot of blankets created in their lifetime, whether they're knit, crocheted, or quilted. Quilting is always on the back of my mind. I feel like it is constantly something that I really want to do, but I don't know. It's something that I know I need to start doing again. So I'm slowly running out of minis because this, oh my goodness, I bet there are almost 100 minis in here. A lot. And it eats up a lot of yarn. Each row, I would say, has a mini of of a mini skein in it. Speaking of mini skeins, I will be having mini skeins in the shop next week. Quite possibly the end of this week, but definitely next week. There will be an extremely limited number, and I will announce it on Instagram, so you can turn on notifications for me if you're interested. So those are a lot of the fun things that I have been working on. I have so many fun new colorways in the shop. I already showed you Let Them Eat Cake. That is not a permanent colorway, like I said. That is a one time only. I have this super fun singles called Hard Knock Life. Love it. I think that would also look really pretty with ash, but so many other colors. But unfortunately, I think I just have ash, barley, and bohemian. Bohemian is a mauve in the shop, but this would probably look fine with all of them, I think. I maybe wouldn't pair it with barley, but. And then I have this gorgeous colorway called It's Not Me, It's You. And this is on gold stellina. I have this on gold stellina and soft sock in the shop. This is one of my new favorite colorways called Digital Bath. I have this on gold stellina and soft sock as well. I think this would make the most beautiful pullover or cardigan for a male or female. I showed this to Robert and thought it would make a gorgeous or a very handsome looking cardigan for him, because he would like a fingering weight cardigan. I have Snape and Lily on soft sock, as well as gold sparkle. Then there is Skinny Dipping on soft sock and gold sparkle as well. Such a fun summer colorway. And then this one is a really special one called Hollow Scene. And this one is extra special to me. Hollow Scene is a Bon Iver song that I listened to pretty much all my pregnancy with Elodie, and it was planned for her home birth song. And something about this just really reminded me of that time. So there's a lot more than that. I do have a lot of tonals in the shop. I have many sweater quantities of this. So here is Lucky One. This one's my favorite. It's oatmeal. I have lychee. I feel like oatmeal goes well with everything. And then I have two different yellow colors that I've started to dye up, because I know some people like more bright yellows and then some people like more mustard. So this one is called Squash. And then this is the more mustardy one. This is my barley. I've had this one in the shop forever. Not that skein of yarn, but that colorway. So I have Bloom. This is a bright pink. And then I have Peony, which is a more gray toned pink. And then there is, just so you can get the different tones of gray, ash, and this one is Fog. It's kind of more of a purpley gray. And Dewdrop, for those of you blue lovers. And that would look nice together. There are so many combinations that would look great together. Any of these. You could do that. Oh, I wouldn't do that actually. But these could even be a really pretty natural kind of colored shawl. But yeah. So I've been having a lot of fun dyeing. I am going to be a part of the Berlin Yarn Crawl, which is so exciting. I will be selling some of my yarn in a cafe there and just spending time with a lot of the local people. I think there are maybe 20 to 22 people going, and I cannot wait. I cannot wait to spend time with people talking about knitting and just touching woolly things. I'm really, really, really looking forward to it. That's in the beginning of August, so that's extremely exciting. The next thing that I wanted to show you are some kits that I'm going to have up in the shop. So I don't have everything for the kits here. I have some progress keepers. I'll take one of each bag. And then I have these beautiful canvas style bags. It's a really, really nice home interior style fabric. Just really pretty. And then those will be paired with 2 yarns and some progress keepers. Kind of like it's a nice shawl sized bag. So I think main and contrasting color will pair really nicely with this. So that kit will be in the shop on, I have no idea what day today is. I believe today is Tuesday. We'll be in the shop on Wednesday. And then I also have some other really fun kits that will be up soon. This has to be ironed. I just started to sew this one. This one. It's a really fun canned things. And I have acquired some really, really fun things lately. So first, I guess I can show you, I did a swap, a really, really fun swap with Tracy and Jody of the Grocery Girls, or Groceria Girls. I always have to think of you, Sue, when I say that. And they sent me this beautiful skein of Adam and Eve yarn. I know it's local to them, well, specially dyed for the shop, but she gets it in her local yarn shop. And another thing I wanted to say. So my socks that I'm knitting, my Metamorphosis socks, I am knitting on the Addi Turbo sock rockets. And Jody and Tracy sent me these, and I adore them. They are amazing. At this point, they're definitely my favorite circular sock needles. I love them. I could not thank you girls more for that surprise. Jody also sent a beautiful project bag, which is on the shelf. Shoot, I should have grabbed it. I'll show you it next time. Hopefully, next time will be no later than 2 weeks. It's a lot more other really fun stuff. Oh my goodness, some wonderful teas. Such a treat. I'm almost finished with those. And chocolates, of course. But it was such an amazing swap package. I felt extremely spoiled. So the next thing that I got is this beautiful skein of Ritz sock self-striping. It's an OCD skein from Mustache Yarns, and this is Calaveras colorway, and this is a 12 striper, and I cannot wait to knit these socks. These will be so much fun. So this is from Antonella, and I'm really excited. I am not a person who normally knits stripy socks, but I know that these socks are going to be a lot of fun. So this is a gold stellina, or it looks kind of gold and silver at the same time, but these are definitely a lot of fun. They kind of look like a summer cast on, you know, they're really bright, so maybe this will have to be the next pair of socks that I cast on. So the next skein of yarn that I have, I feel like this could not be more beautiful, is from the Fawn and the Fox yarns. And she sells on Etsy, Lara. And this is her Fawn base, which is an 80-10-10. And this is 100 grams, and it has 350 meters, so it's definitely more of a plump fingering weight. It doesn't really feel, you know, super plump, but it has 380 yards, and it's really gorgeous. I love the colors in this. I don't know what this will have to be, but something special. Laura, you did an amazing dye job on this. I don't think the colors could have been put together more perfectly. That bright pink there is perfect. So the next acquisition that I have, did I just say accusation that I have? Okay, it is definitely not an accusation. Is this project bag from Simple Love. And she has an Etsy shop as well. And she hand paints the fabric for her bags. So how cool is that? And then makes these really, really pretty Progress Keeper zipper pulls. And she sent me, oh my goodness, these adorable stitch markers. Yeah, they're stitch markers. I haven't used them yet, but I think they're so pretty with the little hearts. It's perfect for me. So I will need to pop those onto a shawl or a sweater. And then 7 mini skeins. So these will 100% go into my blanket. And I'm sure right now they will go into my crochet blanket because I'm a little obsessed with that right now. But how pretty are these? All different colors. I really, really love those. So, the Fawn and the Fox and Simple Love both have to do with the giveaways that I have. So I'm going to grab my little notebook because I wrote down who won. So the first person who won was Birdie, who is post number 220, and she knitted a pair of socks in Jinx yarn. And Birdie, you win this gorgeous, gorgeous skein of yarn from the Fawn and the Fox Knits, or the Fawn and the Fox yarn. And this is her Magpie base, which is a gold stellina, and this is her Peach Perfect colorway. Isn't that pretty? So along with that, you get this really, really cool bag from Sunshine Yarn Fun. And I love that she said that she wanted to stay in the, the stellina theme, and she used all, gold thread for top stitching. So that is the bag. This one is mine. And inside is some amazing tea, and then another beautiful gold interfacing as well. This one's mine, and yours is wrapped, so I will leave yours wrapped. So that is what you have won. And this has pockets too, so that works really, really nicely. So Birdie, number 220, please get in touch with me with your address. Yeah, and I will have that shipped out to you. And then the next person who won is Lucy, post number 307, and she knit a beautiful shawl for her friend's wedding. So Lucy, you have won. I haven't opened this either because I want it to stay pretty for you. This really beautiful hand-dyed bag from Simple Love. And then you've won these 3 stitch markers. You've won a Progress Keeper here. 3 mini skeins. And there's a really pretty Progress Keeper here too. And then you've won this Flower Power collection from Knitting I Love. And this is the Needle Cozy, and then it's also that little stitch marker thing that Chelsea and Sue have made everybody just insane about. So there's that. There's also a gauge keeper in there as well. So this is yours, Lucy. And yeah, thank you so much everybody for participating in the in the knit along. It's been a lot of fun. I feel like I need to pick up something again in Stellina yarn. My blanket has loads of Stellina yarn in it, and I feel like the Stellina yarn makes me the happiest when I can knit a row of, when I can crochet a row of the Stellina yarn. It's just so much fun. Right now I'm mostly knitting on the socks. I really, really want to pick up my cardigan or sweater that I'm knitting. For those of you who are new, I cast on a pullover out of DK weight yarn in my barley colorway, and it's so close to being finished. I have 1.5 sleeves and it will be done. So I don't know what's been holding me up. The weather has been on days cool enough that I definitely could finish it. Probably in a day if I sat and knit the entire day. I don't have that amount of time, but it's so close to being done. So yeah, I feel like I said, I've mostly been concentrating on socks. The blanket has been getting tons of love. Those are the two main things that I've just really constantly been picking up and wanting to work on. And I've just been obsessively dyeing yarn. I'm in love with dyeing yarn, and I couldn't ask for a better job. I enjoy it so much. Better put my crochet hook away, otherwise that's gonna get lost, and I have no idea what size it is, like I said. So what else? We have spent some time at Roche, which has been a lot of fun. I wanted to podcast there, but it ended up getting way too rainy on the day that I wanted to podcast, and it didn't work out. So I'm really, really happy to be back today podcasting. We are in the process, some of you have guessed, of building a home. So that's been really, really exciting. And the thing that happened today that I was extremely excited about is we finally found our piece of land that we want. So in Germany, it is a lot different. You can't just realize that you want a piece of land and get it. Often you have to have a house that you want to build on the land, or you have to be building a house with the company that owns that land. A lot of house building companies own land, you know. And if you're not paying in cash, you have to, go through the bank. And you can't just go through the bank. It takes 6 to 10 weeks to hear back from the bank after you know that you want to build a house. So anyway, we've been spending loads of time meeting with tons and tons of different architects, different companies, looking at a lot of different land. And today was the day that we finally went to this piece of land and this town, and we found the one for us. So we're kind of at a time constraint. We have to basically know and hear from the bank this week whether or not we can have this land. And it is definitely land that I know we can have. It's just if the bank has enough time to get back to us. So that's a little bit scary. The land is so amazing and so sought after that it could be could be gone really quickly. So the architect said that she will, keep Mom's the word on it before she goes on holiday, but we want it. We really, really want it. It's right on, the sea. Well, not the sea, but it's right on a water source. It's kind of like a holiday town. It's really fantastic. And walking around there with Robert, and Ruby was there. Elodie was at Kita, and just seeing Ruby walk around was so fantastic. Just being out there. There are a ton of woods. We would own 3,000, about 4,000 in total Quadratmeter or square meters of woods and land, which just sounds like heaven, for me anyway, because I love nature and I love the woods, and it's where I grew up. I grew up in the woods, and my grandma lived in Whispering Pines. She lived in the woods, and like I said, so did we. So I would love to have that for my family and my girls. And Robert dreams of building a treehouse. He wants to build this treehouse with his own hands, and he already is imagining and, drawing up images in his mind, which is a lot of fun and cute. So, I've just been really, really busy with work and the whole house search. We haven't even started building yet. It's just been so many appointments with architects. Just figuring out different ideas that different people have and different offers that people offer and different pieces of land that they have. And, but it's so exciting. It is so exciting to imagine designing our dream home, and I will have a studio in there. That's already a must. We already know that will be in the house, and I don't want to be cooking in the kitchen anymore. And I have a studio in here, but I'm dyeing my yarn in the kitchen, and it's just really exciting. I'm very, very, very excited. So I hope to see you guys very soon. I don't want it to be 2.5, 3 months again. That just seems like way too long. I missed the heck out of you guys. I felt so out of touch. So I hope that I see you guys soon, like I said. And it was really, really, really nice to chat. I feel like there were more things that I wanted to talk about, but it's getting late in the evening. Not even that late, but it's getting time to make dinner. Robert is down at the park with the girls. And I thought that I would quickly film a podcast, because I really, really missed chatting with you guys, and I really wanted to take advantage of this time to sit down and say hello and, reconnect. So it's time to make dinner. I think we're having vegetarian tacos tonight. And it will be utterly delicious. So I hope you guys are having something yummy for lunch or breakfast or dinner. I'm so excited to be talking to you guys. I know it's the end of the conversation, but I feel awesome. So I'll see you guys soon. Bye.